Lao Man, economic collapse. No matter which path the CCP chooses, it's a dead end. Wang Youqun, 9 signs indicating the CCP's demise in 2023. CCP-West tensions rise, sharp drop in US and South Korean students in China. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Lao Man, economic collapse. No matter which path the CCP chooses, it's a dead end. On December 22, a summary of the National Financial Work Conference held in Beijing by the CCP stated, "We must adhere to the principle of the party and government agencies living a frugal life." In November this year, the CCP leader himself emphasized that budget work should always adhere to the idea of living a frugal life. From November to December, local governments in Zhejiang, Jiangsu, Fujian, Shandong, and other places have also proposed living a frugal life. Among them, the Xiamen municipal government in Fujian province issued a notice on strengthening budget management and adhering to a frugal lifestyle, requiring that performance projects and image projects be suspended. Newly built and expanded urban roads must not be excavated within 5 years of being put into use, and majorly repaired urban roads must not be excavated within 3 years of completion. In 2024, the department-specific business expenses and public funds are to be reduced by 10% and 20% respectively, among other things. On December 25, Lao Man, a well-known financial analyst in China, wrote an article on the X platform, saying that the CCP government might take 2 paths in the future, but both lead to a dead end. The first one is that the CCP government does nothing and just shouts slogans, which will result in severe deflation and a major economic depression. The second is that the CCP government refuses to do nothing and insists on making significant efforts, which will lead to unanchored money printing and severe inflation. Lao Man stated that the outcomes of these 2 paths are no different, both lead to economic collapse. Before the total collapse, a war will definitely break out, and it will happen within the next 2 years, leading to an even quicker demise. Lao Man said, "The outcome is already set, the path no longer matters, whichever is chosen leads to a dead end." Lao Man believes that the CCP is unlikely to choose comprehensive political reform, so, it's a dead end. Wang Youqun, 9 signs indicating the CCP's demise in 2023. Looking back at 2023, many people felt the imminent downfall of the CCP. Some say that today's China, like the late Qing dynasty, is just one gunshot away from collapse. Others wait for an incident involving CCP leader Xi Jinping. Still, others say China is on the eve of a once-in-a-century major transformation. Wang Youqun, a PhD in law and former official of the Chinese Supervision Ministry, has published a commentary highlighting 9 signs indicating the impending collapse of the CCP. A book. On October 16, the CCP removed a book titled Chongzhen, The Diligent Emperor Who Lost His Nation. Many commentators believe that the real reason for its removal was that the title and the tagline on the cover were seen as an allusion to Xi Jinping. The tagline reads, "One mistake after another in a series of foolish decisions, the more diligent governance leads to the loss of the nation," and understanding how Emperor Chongzhen step by step pushed himself to a dead end. Since his second term, Xi has turned a good situation into a bad one. Many of his personal projects have become incomplete. Now, having secured a 3rd term, Xi is isolated within the party, domestic crises are everywhere, and foreign relations are at an all-time low. Enemies are all around. A painting. On December 4, the editorial department of Selected Essays announced its suspension from January 1, 2024. The last issue, published on December 4, featured a cartoon on its cover, a giant finger pointing in a direction. Many people, following the direction of the finger, fall into a deep abyss one by one. Many commentators believe this cartoon is also an allusion to Xi Jinping, as the CCP's media often publicizes Xi pointing the direction for various initiatives. However, by 2023, under Xi's guidance, the CCP has plunged into an unprecedented crisis. A poem. On June 30, the CCP's official publication Youqun published the full text of Xi's speech at the Central Party School's youth cadre training class on March 1 last year. In it, Xi quotes, if the people we train no longer believe in Marxism and communism, and do not hold the banner of Chinese-style socialism, the tragedy of the dramatic changes in Eastern Europe, the collapse of the Soviet Communist Party, and the disintegration of the Soviet Union, which can be described as unable to bear looking back at the bright moon of the old country, will occur. The quote, taken from a poem by Liu, the last monarch of the southern Tang dynasty, reflects the lament of a ruler who has lost his country. She quoting this poem is a bad omen. A high official, in 2023, the sudden disappearance of Qin Gang, the youngest leader of the party and the state personally promoted by Xi, is a highly symbolic event. Starting from June 26, 2023, just over 6 months as foreign minister and just over 3 months as state councillor, Qin disappeared. On July 25, he was dismissed as foreign minister, on October 24, as state councillor. Rumors of his death began circulating online from July 16. On December 6, Politico Europe reported, citing sources with ties to senior CCP officials, that Qin Gang and senior officials of the Rocket Army had defected, leaking CCP's nuclear secrets to Western intelligence. Qin reportedly died in late July in a military hospital serving senior CCP leaders in Beijing, either by suicide or torture. A high official, in 2023, the sudden disappearance of Qin Gang, the youngest leader of the party and the state personally promoted by Xi, is a highly symbolic event. Starting from June 26, 2023, just over 6 months as foreign minister and just over 3 months as state councillor, Qin disappeared. On July 25, he was dismissed as foreign minister, on October 24, as state councillor. Rumors of his death began circulating online from July 16. On December 6, Politico Europe reported, citing sources with ties to senior CCP officials, that Qin Gang and senior officials of the Rocket Army had defected, leaking CCP's nuclear secrets to Western intelligence. Qin reportedly died in late July in a military hospital serving senior CCP leaders in Beijing, either by suicide or torture. A city, in 2023, the third year since the CCP implemented the Hong Kong version of the national security law and replaced one country, two systems with one-party dictatorship, Hong Kong's stock market became the worst globally. The voter turnout for the Hong Kong District Council elections hit a 30-year low. For the first time in 26 years, the Hong Kong chief executive was barred from the APEC summit. Moody's downgraded Hong Kong's credit rating to negative. It took Britain over 100 years to build Hong Kong into the world's third-largest financial center. Since the CCP's violent suppression of the Hong Kong anti-extradition movement in 2019, it took less than 5 years for the CCP to turn Hong Kong into a ruin of the world financial center. Today's Pearl of the Orient, Hong Kong has lost its luster. A financial commentator wrote, if a word of the year is to be chosen, I suggest fall. Housing prices fall, stock prices fall, incomes fall, exports fall, investments fall, exchange rates fall, employment fall, birth rates fall. Everything related to the lives of ordinary people is falling apart. Of course, the only thing growing is government debt. A teenager, on February 2, police in Jiangxi Province, Shaoxing City, and Qianshan County jointly disclosed the investigation results of Hu Xinyu's case. Missing since October 14, 2022, and declared found on January 28, 2023, Hu Xinyu's death by self-strangulation was determined through official investigations. However, this conclusion faces widespread skepticism. Meticulous research, including comparative experiments and citizen discoveries, provides over 20 pieces of compelling evidence, challenging the official verdict. A series of articles in the Epoch Times titled Ironclad Murder. Hu Xinyu's Recording and the Fake Scene, Parts 1-9, by Tong Zhen and Gu Jin exposes discrepancies. Many suspect CCP involvement in Hu Xinyu's death for live organ harvesting. A song, on July 19, mainland singer Dao Lang's new song Luo Sha Haishir became an immediate hit, becoming one of the most important cultural phenomena of 2023. Music critics say Dao Lang's new song Luo Sha Haishir set multiple records, including over 1 billion plays across the entire network in 1 week. Lyrics like "The horse doesn't know it's a donkey, the bird doesn't know it's a chicken," but the coal egg has always been black, no matter how you wash it, it's still dirty, are true reflections of how the CCP today inverts right and wrong, confuses truth and falsehood, glorifies ugliness, deceives itself and others, promotes reverse selection, and commits evil deeds. A virus. Since the outbreak of the Great Pandemic from Wuhan in 2020, the coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, has never left China. In September this year, the pandemic resurged and is now experiencing another major outbreak. Hospitals all over the country are overwhelmed. The situation is particularly severe in Beijing, Tianjin, Shanghai, Dalian, Shenyang, Chongqing, Hunan, Hebei, Shaanxi, and other places, with many funeral homes and crematoriums overflowing. This major outbreak of the pandemic may lead to even more deaths. All 9 of these signs indicating the impending collapse of the CCP are related to Xi Jinping. CCP-West tensions rise, sharp drop in US and South Korean students in China. According to a report by Yonhap news agency on December 25, the South Korean Ministry of Education released a report on December 7 titled Current Status of South Korean Students in Foreign Higher Education Institutions. As of April 1 this year, there were 15,857 South Korean students studying undergraduate, graduate, or language programs in China. This number is a 6.5% decrease from the previous year and a significant 78.3% drop from the peak in 2017, when there were 73,240 South Korean students in China. According to Yonhap news agency, the decrease in South Korean students studying in China is mainly attributed to the slowing pace of China's economic growth and the strict COVID-19 prevention measures adopted by CCP. Previously, Nicholas Burns, the U.S. ambassador to China, stated in a speech at the Brookings Institution in Washington that 6 or 7 years ago, there were 15,000 American students in China, but this number dropped to 350 in 2022. Although the number rebounded to 700 in 2023. In recent years, the exchange between American and Chinese students has been disrupted due to the COVID-19 pandemic and increasing concerns about the safety of Americans in China. According to the travel advisory updated by the U.S. State Department on June 30 for mainland China, Hong Kong, and Macau, these areas are classified as Level 3, reconsider travel. The State Department advises U.S. citizens to reconsider traveling to these areas due to the risk of arbitrary enforcement of local laws, including exit bans, and wrongful detention of American citizens. The guidelines emphasize that, in most cases, American citizens only become aware of exit bans when attempting to leave China. There is no reliable mechanism or legal process to determine how long such bans might last or to contest them in court. Brock Mullen, a student at the Johns Hopkins University Nanjing University Center for Chinese and American Studies, Hopkins Nanjing Center, told Voice of America over the phone, "Our program aims to recruit about 100 to 150 American students each year, but we only have about 30 American students here, in Nanjing." He explained that one factor causing American students to hesitate about studying in China is the impact of the Chinese surveillance system or concerns about being arbitrarily detained by Chinese authorities. He said, "A major reason some American students might feel nervous about coming to China is the fear of being monitored or hearing stories of people being arbitrarily thrown in jail or facing exit bans." Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.